I was standing in that courtroom, my heart pounding against my ribs like it wanted to escape. Across the aisle sat my own mother dressed in black, dabbing her eyes with a tissue. Her lawyer whispered something, and she nodded, a small smile tugging at her lips. She thought she had already won. She had no idea what I had been saving for this exact moment. The folder in my hands felt heavy, not from paper but from years of pain, and one recording that would change everything. Before I take you through everything that led to this moment, I want to know where you are watching from today. Drop your location in the comments below, and if you believe that the truth always finds its way out, hit that like button and subscribe to this channel. Now, to understand why my mother thought she could take everything from me, you need to know how I grew up in her shadow. My name is Clark, and I was born in a small town in Ohio. My father Daniel was a carpenter. He had rough hands, but a gentle soul. My mother Donna worked as a sales clerk at a department store downtown. For the first 7 years of my life, things seemed normal enough. But when I was 7, my parents divorced. I do not remember the details, just the shouting and the slamming doors. My father moved out and I stayed with my mother. 3 years later, when I was 10, my father died in a workplace accident. A beam collapsed at a construction site. I remember the phone call, my mother's face going pale, and then nothing. Just emptiness. I thought maybe, just maybe, this tragedy would bring my mother and me closer. Instead, it seemed to push her further away. When I was 11, my mother remarried. His name was Ray. He was quiet, the kind of man who nodded along to whatever Donna said. He never raised his voice, but he never stood up for me either. A year later, my half-brother Marcus was born, and that was when I truly understood my place in this family. Marcus was the golden child from the moment he took his first breath. He got new toys while I wore hand-me-downs. He got praise for the smallest achievements while my report cards were met with silence. My mother would say things like, "You should be grateful I kept you after your father died." Those words burned into my memory like a brand. When I was 14, I wanted to join the school basketball team. It required a small fee for the uniform and equipment. I asked my mother, and she shook her head. "We do not have money for that," she said. That same week, she bought Marcus a brand new video game console. I learned my lesson. I started mowing lawns in the neighborhood, saving every dollar I earned. If no one was going to help me, I would help myself. By the time I turned 18, I could not wait to leave. I had earned a partial scholarship to a community college, and I found a room to rent with 2 other students. My mother did not offer a single dollar. "You are an adult now," she said. "Figure it out." So I did. I worked 2 jobs throughout college. Nights at a warehouse, weekends at a coffee shop. I barely slept, but I kept going. Every month my mother would call asking for money. "Marcus needs school supplies," she would say. Or Ray's hours got cut. Against my better judgment, I sent what I could. I told myself it was my responsibility as a son. Looking back, I was just trying to buy love that was never for sale. After 2 years at community college, I transferred to a state university. I graduated with a degree in computer science and a mountain of student loans, but I had made it. I landed a job as a software engineer at a small company in Columbus. For the first time in my life, I felt like I was building something real. Over the next 5 years, I lived like a monk. No vacations, no fancy dinners, no new car. I cooked every meal at home and saved 40% of every paycheck. My goal was simple. I wanted to own a home, a place that was truly mine, where no one could tell me I was unwelcome. At 28, I found it. A modest 3-bedroom house in a quiet suburb of Columbus. 2 bathrooms, a small backyard, and a price tag of $165,000. I put down $33,000 from my own savings. Every single penny came from my own hard work. My name, and only my name, was on the deed. I called my mother to share the news. I thought she might finally be proud of me. Instead, her voice turned cold. "Must be nice to have money to throw around while your brother is still struggling," she said. Marcus was 22 at the time, living with her, and Ray drifting between part-time jobs. I hung up feeling that familiar sting of disappointment. 2 years passed. The housing market in my area surged, and my little house was suddenly worth around $240,000. That was when my mother started calling more often. She asked about the house constantly. "How is the house? Are you still living there alone?" She visited twice in 3 months, something she had never done before. She even suggested that Marcus should move in with me. I politely declined. During one of her visits, I noticed her taking photographs of every room. She asked about the property deed, the mortgage payments, whether I had any roommates. My girlfriend Leah pulled me aside that night. "Something does not feel right about her sudden interest," she said. I brushed it off. "She is my mom," I told her. "She would never do anything to hurt me. I was so very wrong." It was a Friday afternoon when the envelope arrived. I remember the weight of it in my hands, the fancy letterhead from a law firm I had never heard of. Gerald Hoffman, attorney at law. I opened it expecting some kind of junk mail. What I found inside made my blood run cold. My mother was suing me. She claimed she had ownership rights to 50% of my house. According to her lawyer, she had given me $30,000 for the down payment. She claimed there was a verbal agreement that we would co-own the property. She said I had taken advantage of her generosity and abandoned her in her time of need. I read the letter 3 times each time, hoping the words would somehow change. They did not. My own mother was trying to take my home. I grabbed my phone and called her immediately. It rang and rang, then went to voicemail. I sent a text message asking her to call me back. Hours later, she replied with 5 words. "We will talk through the lawyers." That night I sat alone in my living room, staring at the walls I had painted myself, the floors I had refinished on weekends, the garden I had planted in the backyard. Every corner of this house held my sweat and sacrifice, and now she wanted to take half of it with a lie. I called my Aunt Patricia the next day. She was my mother's younger sister, and I had always thought of her as reasonable. Surely she would see through this madness. But when I explained the situation, her response shattered me. "Your mother told me she gave you $30,000 for the down payment," Patricia said. "Why are you being so ungrateful?" I tried to explain that it was not true that I had saved every dollar myself. She cut me off. "Donna is my sister. She would not lie about something like this." Ray called me the following week. His voice was flat and cold. "Just give your mother what she deserves," he said. "She raised you." Marcus sent a text message dripping with contempt. "Always knew you were selfish. Cannot even share with family." The isolation was complete. Family gatherings happened without me. Relatives I had not spoken to in years sent messages calling me ungrateful and cruel. My mother had painted herself as the victim, and everyone believed her. Everyone except Leah. She held my hand and looked into my eyes. "I know who you are," she said. "Do not let them make you doubt yourself." Meanwhile, my mother escalated her campaign. She posted thinly veiled messages on social media about children who abandon their parents. She called my coworkers, somehow finding them through my professional profile online. She told them her version of events. Some of them started looking at me differently. Her lawyer sent more letters demanding mediation. The terms were simple: sign over 50% of the house or face a lengthy court battle. They gave me 30 days to decide. "If this goes to court," the letter warned, "it will cost you much more than just the house." Some friends advised me to give in. "It is just money," they said. "Family is more important." But I looked around my home and knew that this was not just about money. This was about everything I had built, everything I had survived. If I surrendered now, I would be surrendering myself. I found a lawyer named Sandra Reyes through a coworker's recommendation. She was calm, methodical, and razor sharp. After reviewing all the documents, she looked at me with steady eyes. "They have nothing but her word," she said. "But in court, emotional manipulation can be powerful. We need concrete evidence." I started gathering everything I could find. Bank statements from the past 7 years, showing every deposit came from my own paychecks. The original purchase agreement, with only my signature. Every mortgage payment traced back to my personal account. There was not a single dollar from Donna, anywhere, in the records. Then I remembered something. A phone call from the previous year. My mother had asked about the house, and something about her tone had made me uneasy. I had started recording our calls after she once denied promising to attend my college graduation. It was a habit born from self-protection. I dug through my files and found the recording. My heart nearly stopped when I played it back. Her voice was crystal clear. "I never gave you any money for that house. You bought it yourself." I listened to it again and again. She had admitted the truth, never imagining anyone would hear it. I searched through old text messages and found one from 3 years ago where she wrote, "Must be nice to buy a house on your own while I am struggling here." I found an email from 2 years back, where she asked to borrow $500 from me. If she had given me $30,000, why would she need to borrow money? I brought everything to Sandra. She spread the documents across her desk, studied the recordings, and smiled for the first time since we met. "This is gold," she said, "but we keep it hidden until the right moment. Let them think they have the upper hand." The night before the court date, I could not sleep. I lay in bed staring at the ceiling, running through every possible scenario. Leah reached over and took my hand. "Whatever happens tomorrow," she whispered, "I am proud of you for standing up for yourself." I thought about all those years of feeling invisible, of being told I should be grateful just for existing. This was not just about a house anymore. This was about refusing to be erased. The morning of the hearing, I put on my best suit and picked up the folder containing everything. Inside was a USB drive with the recording that would expose my mother's lies.